What's going on? I'm sorry, it's your boy Mills. You now tune into the Food Joint podcast. P,
I'm here.
what's happening?
Nothing, man. Nothing. I heard you wanted to have a very selective special conversation today.
You was there, bro, when I said it. It was your homework.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
The Bear on Hulu.
Such a good show. I'm glad you put me onto it.
Okay.
I binged it in like 4 hours.
Quick, John.
Yeah, quick 8 episodes. Each episode was almost 30 minutes a pop. Like, you can really sit down and lose track of time and like, damn, I watched the whole thing.
What'd you think? God tier, top tier, mid tier?
I think right now for me it's top tier.
Okay.
I think when they do the second season, when they really come into their own, it's going to turn into a God tier type show. But it was extremely refreshing because they gave you first-hand insight on how shit really goes.
Bruh.
On all levels. The financial, the business, the staff, the personal,
Bruh.
like the kitchen politics.
Yes.
Bruh.
The women in kitchen politics.
Oh my goodness.
Bro.
Old head, what's her name on the show? Spoilers. This episode
Spoiler
is
alert.
spoilers everywhere.
Brr, 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 brr. Spoiler alert. We spoiling. If you haven't seen it by now, if you're in this profession, you should have seen it.
I agree.
If you're not in this profession, please understand, spoiler alert, but we're going to touch on a little bit of what happened in the show from our experiences, so we won't spoil it too much. But we do this is the deep dive. We going right in.
Also, it was a classic let you see the dynamic between younger people in the industry and older people in the industry, and how it's like two bulls colliding and they just butting heads all day every day because my way works, your way is a piece of shit. You're half my age, you can't tell me what to do.
This is how I was taught to do it. This is how I've been doing it, and this is how I'm gonna keep doing it. No, I don't care how easier your way is. I don't care how I don't want your elevated omelet.
Right.
I don't know. This is how we do it.
Tina pissed me off when she burnt Sydney sauce on purpose.
Kitchen politics.
Karma's on her ass.
Kitchen politics.
Yes, sir.
Kitchen politics.
I'm looking like come on, Tina, what you doing?
Bro. So, what was your favorite part of the show? And not necessarily like your favorite episode or your favorite scene, just related to you and your story. What was your favorite part of the show? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. What part did you relate to the most?
Okay. The part I related to the most is when Carm first came back and he was trying to implement how he wanted things to be done in the kitchen and realizing the kitchen was chaos.
Right.
And the reason it related to me is because once I reached a management position within the industry and I'm like actually leading people every day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that I wanted to implement and I got a lot of kickback, especially from the older generation.
Right.
Because it's like, you could be my grandson. Like, I've been, and it's like, listen, I'm not trying to change how you do your job. I just want to make you more effective at doing your job. You got to meet me halfway, whether you want to or not, because right now I'm in charge of you. But they knew I wasn't going to be a dick,
Right.
unless I had to be. Fortunately for everybody, there was very few times where I had to be, but growing pains, being in that position to be the guy, and knowing that you're going to get kickback, what he went through, it was like, yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I'm Carmi.
You are Carmi.
I'm Carmi.
Yeah, you are. I was watching it and I was like, this is why he wanted me to watch this show.
I'm Carmi.
Because it's a show about him.
There's a. I'm not a. That just made me sound crazy. No, I'm not a.
No, because if you think about it, again, if you watch the show, you know that Carmi is an onion. There's so many layers to him. Carmi was a dick when he had to be, but for the most part, he was a guy that was misunderstood that just wanted shit to work.
I like how you cleaned that up.
That's the truth.
I like how you cleaned that up. This is not the truth. That's not where I was going. I like the cleanup though. Like you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're a pinch hitter.
I mean, I guess. I mean, you know.
Nah, when I say I'm Carmi, in the beginning, when he was working at that
In New York?
no, that wasn't New York.
That wasn't New York? Noma wasn't in New York?
I think Noma was in California.
Okay.
But the way they had it set up in that scene where the dude was in his ear like, you ain't shit. I'll tell your mama you ain't shit. Like
he told him he should die.
you should, bro. I know what place that is that they kind of like alluded.
Okay.
I wanted to work in that place.
Really?
It's called the French Laundry.
I heard of that.
I wanted to work there.
I heard it for the French Laundry.
I wanted to work there.
Where's that in real life?
California.
It's in California.
I wanted to work there.
Really?
Bad too. And then I had to realize I'm from Philly. Pussy what?
Right.
And at that age, when I was like first figuring it out, like coming out of working in a French restaurant for free. What?
Where in California is this? Like San Francisco or Los
I believe
Angeles?
San Francisco area.
Okay.
I could be wrong. We got to double check on that.
Google.
But it's called the French Laundry. That's what that place. That's I believe that's what they kind of like. That's where the idea of that place was. It's based off of French Laundry, and at that point in my career, because it was so early and I was so wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, I had no idea what I was going to get myself into, but I knew I'm going to make it. That was it. And that part, and then when Carmi was like, he transitioned to going back home, that was me when I left New York and came back home with a completely different perspective and a complete different respect for what essentially made me. So that's where I'm at with it.
And it's called the French Laundry, right?
French Laundry, yeah.
French American Fine Dining. Okay, so it is in Napa Valley in California.
Wine country.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's right across the street from Napa Valley Museum. Okay. I just Googled it.
Yep.
The pictures are astounding. And this kitchen has like 15 people in it. And it's like they're working on top of each other. But when the stuff that comes out is tremendous.
Breathtaking.
And you want to work here.
I wanted to work there. I would have worked there for free.
Just to get the knowledge.
I would have worked there for, yeah. Because I had, at that point when I'm just starting out and I'm working at this French restaurant and I'm learning new things, tasting different things, I'm starting to understand conceptually what it is that makes a chef.
Okay.
And the guy I was working for, I shouted him out before. He had the best French restaurant on the East Coast. I'm still fresh off the block. I don't even understand what is going on.
Okay.
I just know I'm having fun learning.
Got you.
So then it turns into, well, what else is there? And I find about this place in California. What I'm glad was that I initially didn't just go over there,
Okay.
got it out the mud, cause I know me at that point in time,
They would have sent your ass packing.
20, 21, 22. No, I'd have been booked up over there.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, because the culture, and then in this conversation we'll talk on the old school versus the new school.
Right.
The old school way is you do what I fucking tell you to do. Yes, chef, no chef, heard chef, and that's it. Don't ask me no questions. I'm telling you exactly what to do, and we'll bring it to now, today. I'm Chef Dickhead now because of where I work.
Okay.
Perfect example. This just happened to me today. Yo, don't put cheese on the pasta. Well, why not? Because I said so and it's my fucking kitchen. What you mean? Well, they like it that way. I don't care. And we're from where I came from and how I came up. Why are you asking me questions? I already told you the assignment.
Right.
Now it's too much talking. So that is, when I say I'm Carmy in the beginning, that is what I come from. I don't understand this new way. I'm very old school. Now, as a black man, I have empathy and I understand.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a really strange dichotomy of how being a black chef, you have to be aware of certain shit, and you
Right.
have to be able to navigate being a chef, but also being a black man first.
Right.
That's why I told you to watch the show.
Well, I'm glad I did though.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did because, so who
I feel like I know where you're going with this.
who in your eyes that we've worked with
Mm-hmm.
was Richie?
Was Richie?
Yeah.
I don't think we worked with Richie. You might have been the closest thing.
Really?
We got to think about what Richie really was, the voice of the kitchen.
He was the voice of the kitchen, but Richie was also a fuck up. Richie.
Okay.
Richie got in his own way the entire series until the very end when he got his shit together.
Now, we got to remember to separate. There was some TV fantasy shit going on.
No, I didn't even mention the TV fan. I'm not even. I'm talking about straight beef, Chicago beef, the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Because when Carmy came in, he fought him on everything because he felt like he was trying to change him, change how they did shit, change everything, and he was loud and obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give a fuck about what was going on. This has nothing to do with out of the restaurant shit. Just there, he just was okay with being a monumental douche until the end when they got their shit together and he realized, damn, you know what?
The status quo is trash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't. Do you got somebody in mind? Because I really can't. That second part of just a monumental fuck up that's loud for all the wrong reasons. I don't know who that person is that we both work with.
Oh, I do.
I know him.
Yeah. But you don't want me to say nobody's name.
Oh.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
It starts with an M.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah.
Was he a fuck up though?
Yeah.
But, okay. All right. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if he was a fuck up because I didn't pay attention to him enough. You got to remember at that point in time, I was just like, it was.
And you was there at night.
As in high school, I was there at night.
Yeah.
And I came back for a little bit in the summer and I worked during the day.
Yeah.
And then when I moved back home full time, he wasn't there long after.
Yeah. So y'all were like ships passing in the night.
Yeah. He scared the shit out of me one day. And this ain't a Tales for the Kitchen. It's just some funny shit. this is when I every time I say
Wait,
this, I had to
downstairs kitchen or upstairs kitchen?
upstairs.
Upstairs kitchen.
Upstairs kitchen.
Okay.
We already transitioned over.
Okay.
When I always say I got the taste buds of a 6-year-old, right? It was a point where I had this weird fascination with Ensure. Ensure was like the greatest thing to me.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's just sugar.
Yeah, I know.
So when you're a kid, it's like, this is sugar and I'm full. I'm in the storeroom, crack that joint. I start chugging it. All I hear is, whoa!
That was him.
When I tell you that shit was all over my clothes, he was like, first he was like, damn, yo, you ain't even flinch. And I turned around and he was like, well, I got you, dumbass. That shit was all over my clothes. I was like, what the like, why? And he bust out laughing. But that was my introduction to like, it's okay to play pranks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was the king of that shit.
Um,
He was the king of that shit. And the dynamic, since we're talking, I'm still not gonna say anybody's name, but him and Miss P, the fucking banter between them two.
Miss B.
6th floor.
I don't know.
Miss Pat, yo. Miss Pat, short, light skinned lady.
Oh my God, rest in peace, Miss Pat, man.
Yeah, she went out bad. I felt bad. I really felt bad for her.
Yeah.
But
You know,
the dynamic between them two,
They used to cuss each other the fuck out.
Yo, you would think they hated each other.
They hate no. They hated each other. That's why I got moved to the 6th floor.
Dog.
I was like I was there to lay on everybody's sword. When you was beefing with Miss B,
Yeah, I know you talking about.
laid on that sword. Like I was the sacrificial lamb. Whenever y'all had beef, they like we'll just send Mills up there. Like, and I used to be like, I wanted to stay on 6th floor or 3rd floor. I didn't want to move, and they like, they beefing, go to 4. I'm like, fuck, hate 4. Like,
Wait, do you remember that one time though? Like, I think this might have been the one time that you was like truly like mad at me. So we was both there in the morning one day, and you was supposed to work on, I forget what floor you was supposed to work
probably
on.
3 or 6.
I think it was 3rd. But I sniped you. I took the floor.
And you put me, and I was on 4 for that morning.
And I had put you on 4, and I took your floor, and you had already had that shit set up. You moved. You went to the 4th floor, but you wanted to rumble me bad that day. You was hot, and I knew you was hot because you didn't even try to hide that shit, and I felt terrible about that shit afterwards. I tried to give you your floor back because I really felt like, damn, I was on some nut shit.
Say why you wanted to be on that floor.
I can't remember. Oh, because my baby was on that floor. That's the floor she worked on.
You could have just told me that, and I understood.
I think at that point though, we were still relatively new, and we was playing everything close to the vest. Like nobody knew what was going on. Now I knew.
I was like, yo, I know why you want to be. I know why you want to be up there. That was the part of the argument.
And I was playing dumb. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Shorty, the new joint. I know what's going on.
No, you was mad. Crazy part about it is you ain't fucking talk to me until lunch.
Cause
it was breakfast. Like 5 hours had went past. Radio silence. You was looking at me like pussy.
I was saying it too. It was like, you know how some of the joints had a little glass pane in the doorway?
Yeah.
I was hoping you could. It was like, man, fuck you, boy. There's a toaster downstairs. You know what I'm talking. I hated you, and it was just like, you ain't gonna keep it real with me. Like, it wasn't even so much that you did it; it's the fact you waited for me, and we talk about my OCD. Shit was pristine.
No, it was. I sniped the shit out you for that joint. I apologize to this day. I'm like, that was a douchey bad move on my part. And if we can relate this to the bear, that douchey thing that I did was kind of like one of the ending scenes between Carm and Sydney, when she quit, she's like, man, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never gonna fucking talk to me like that again. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I got too much respect for myself to sit here and take this fucking abuse.
Right. And I think,
same thing with Marcus with the pastries.
but see, here's the thing, and I think this is why I related to Carmi so much. You don't, if you don't have the maturity to understand how to reach people, it's gonna blow up in your face every time. Because not everybody's built to withstand what he went through. He went through some shit. He said, "I wish you would die."
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you holding it like that? You're gonna fucking fuck it. Like, he was talking to him crazy. And that's so old school. It's like they're trying to break you. And if they don't break you, you belong.
Right.
And Carmi's whole thing was, I'ma break you. And then what this new school thing is, I don't gotta be here. I don't gotta be here. Shorty was so talented. She didn't even realize, like, she was so talented, and I don't even think she realized what Carmi was trying to do. And
well, one, she was extremely impatient.
She thought she was better than what she was, and she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And instead of Carmi explaining it to her from just a listen, I know where you at. You're going to need somebody to rein you in. He was just like, no. Fuck that. I ain't going to work here. No. And she like, oh, fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. And when the shit blew up in her face.
When she had the to-go orders, when she had the to-go orders preset to pre-order, and them tickets came in.
Remember my
for
tells
6 minutes for 6 minutes straight.
No, that shit was half the episode. That shit was going off. I cried laughing because I understood what that feels like.
And she quit and walked out in the middle of that shit.
And what Carmi do?
Got to it.
Bring everybody together. Brought everybody together.
Everybody that was still there.
Yeah. I mean, was pastry boy,
Sydney bounce and Marcus bounce.
But the two people that fucked up the worst.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing.
Cause he was still fucking around with them donuts, and they was like, "Yo, like today ain't the day for that shit. Where your cake at? Where's this at?" And he was behind. Like after he told him he wasn't going to fall behind again.
Days behind. Days. We ain't talking about Betty. Excuse me. We ain't not talking about Betty Crocker chocolate cake. We talking flour, baking soda, baking powder, sugar.
Yeah. From scratch.
Cocoa powder from scratch. Eggs, milk, like butter. Some people don't even realize how long it takes for butter to soften outside the refrigerator.
No, they don't.
And then the crazy part is, people assume it's the little stick of butter that you get from the supermarket.
No, it's the 1 pound Johns, like the blocks.
A pound.
Yeah. Now you can cheat and put them in like a hot box, melt it faster, get it soft that way. I've seen people do that.
But you run the risk of breaking it. So you got the elements that make up butter is the butter, the water, the butterfat.
Yeah.
And once they start to separate, you change the composition of it. So you could fuck a cake. Oh, you could fuck a cake up that way. So like, it's just so much that goes into like being a chef. Your creativity don't matter until you understand how to execute consistently.
Right. Also, you can't rush the process neither.
No.
And shit has to be precise.
Yeah.
Because if you notice in the show, when he fell behind, he thought if he did it faster, turn the machine up, have it mix faster, cut certain steps in half, oh, all right, cool, I'll catch up. It's like, no, bro, you're not going to catch up. You're just going to make a fucking mess.
Shit, he made a mess. Listen, I'll never forget one night I was working in a steakhouse. we had to make fresh hollandaise,
Ooh,
and
I do not like hollandaise.
when I tell you the president of culinary operations for that company was there, and one night I wasn't in the weeds, but everybody was ordering béarnaise over and over and over, and I was like, "Fuck!" Started trying to rush to make the hollandaise. Breaks. Rushing again. Break. I fucking grabbed that Robocoup so fast. He said, "Hey chef, what the fuck are you doing with that?" I was like,
He was Italian boy.
yeah, old school Italian. Old school Italian. Chef, what the fuck are you doing with that? I'm like, I need hollandaise for these next 12 orders. He said, well, you better whisk it. And I was like, I'm not doing that right now. This motherfucker came over and made hollandaise for 22 orders. And half the time it would have took me to do it in the fucking Roboco.
Sunned you.
But what? I was okay with that. 'Cause I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? And he's like, you can't rush it. You can't rush it. Listen, and that's when he gave me the lesson. Yo, you talk like you're the guy and you walk around and act like it, but when you start cracking under pressure, you're going to make everybody else crack. Stay cool. You'll be all right. It's going to get done. You dictate what goes on in the kitchen. So like goes back to when the shit show, Carmi was like, even when Homeboy started fucking up and left, rallied everybody together. Well, what was left?
Yeah.
Yo, bring it in.
Because it was what? As far as cooks go, it was just him, Tina, and the old head boy.
The Caribbean boy.
Yeah, it was just them three.
And got it out. What they could.
Yeah. Because the other bull was like miscellaneous.
He was a handyman until he wasn't.
Then you had Richie, and then you had the two dishwashers.
Yeah.
And that was it.
But if a good leader will ring that all in.
Oh, the handyman. You talking about the white boy that had all the tattoos?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the skinny black boy.
I'm trying to remember. That was
The skinny black boy. He like stocked the bags and shit. Like, he did all the miscellaneous shit.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, those are the people. When you talked about old head that told you like, if I don't ask you for help, don't help me. Like, you need people like that. You need people that stay calm under pressure. Like,
also when the handyman and Richie got into that fight,
what did he tell? What did he tell him to call him?
that shit was hilarious.
He said, "What did he say? Call me your mommy or some shit like that."
Some crazy shit. But that was the funniest, worst fight that I think I've ever seen.
Listen, let me tell you something. Fights in the kitchen, they're like so common, but you get over them quick because it's such a high pressure situation. You kind of be like, listen, I was tripping, I was pissed. Like, and you get over it.
Right.
Like, you would think within those moments, fighting happens constantly in the kitchen. It's like, no, the arguing always happens. Fighting rarely happens.
I've never, in my entire culinary career, I've never witnessed a fight in any kitchen that I've ever worked in. And the only fight that I almost was a part of was recently with Mr. Rodney when I kept stepping on his toes.
We almost fought. I don't know if you remember.
We did? Almost?
Yeah, when I asked you if you could fight.
Oh yeah, you did ask me if I could. But I knew you was playing.
Depending on if you didn't laugh in your response, we'd have fought that day.
Yeah, I remember you was like, yo, can you fight? Cause I can. And I was like, this motherfucker gotta be playing.
Nah, that was towards the end of my tenure where I just didn't give a fuck anymore. But
that's a whole nother conversation. That's not even a conversation for the show.
No. But we had that conversation already. Now it's funny as shit.
I mean, of course we can laugh at it now, yeah. Then it was like, ugh, like I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know about this guy. This guy might have been a chameleon. He might have made it seem like he was a cool dude, but in retrospect, I don't fucking know.
No, it's your fault. But that's a story.
Everything can't be my fault, yo.
No, you said show me your true colors, and I was like, all right.
Shit, I wasn't talking about those.
Listen,
So,
what's the funniest moment in the show to you?
the funniest moment?
Yeah, funniest.
Oh my goodness. It was a couple of them. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the best one for me. The funniest moment on the show for me
I'll give you.
it was funny but serious. Was when they had the bachelor party and shit. and shit went left, and they came in that door fucking shit up, and then Richie almost caught a fucking homie. He was bitching. Did he wake up yet? He was bitching.
Listen. That was like the moment of like. Have you seen something close to that? Similar
In real life?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
as far since you've been in the kitchen, you know people host events or whatever. Them getting too belligerent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the hotel.
Always at the hotel.
Yeah.
Always at the hotel.
Bruh. Like I've seen I seen real quick.
Go ahead.
It was an event. I think it was a wedding reception. And they was sloshed.
Always.
Like with a capital S.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the bathroom in the back because I was working in the event, so I used the bathroom that they was using. We wasn't supposed to because it was a public bathroom, but fuck that. I gotta go.
Yeah.
So
and you always go to the nice bathroom.
Yeah, of course you got to.
Yeah.
So I'm in there taking a piss, and these dudes walking, and they get to the arguing.
Okay.
About fantasy football.
It's always football that fuck the party up.
Fantasy football. And they get to the arguing. This is an ultimate pause moment. So I go to the sink to wash my hands. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm not even supposed to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes is arguing. Dick in hand. He turns away from the urinal and is like, what do you mean? But he's pissing the whole time.
Oh my God.
What do you mean? What are you even talking about? Pee flying everywhere. He pissed on one of the groomsmen. They was about to roll on him. It was like, yo, put your fucking cock away. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get out of here right now. You should have seen the sheer horror on my face because I couldn't believe what was happening.
Listen.
Bruh.
Yo, if these walls could talk, the things they would say.
Bruh.
Listen.
I don't think I ever told anybody that shit neither. Like none of my coworkers, nobody. Like I was just like, what the fuck? Like, am I in a Twilight Zone?
Hold on. Let me tell you why, right? You get a round of applause, right? It's a subtle flex. It's a flex for both of us. You never told anybody that story. Now you told it to hundreds of listeners.
Yeah.
We got them.
Yeah. Because that shit was beyond me.
Listen. Yo, as we've been recording this, right, I think what I've come to understand is like, for the longest, I used to think I was like angry as a chef just because of how I respond to things.
Right.
But now I'm starting to understand how passionate I was. So this is a Tales from the Kitchen, but this is a little brief.
Right.
But I don't want to. This Tales from the Kitchen coincides in one of the episodes, and the funniest moment is when Shorty stabbed Richie
in the ass.
In the ass.
Okay.
I was in tears laughing when I saw that shit because I don't think it was an accident.
I don't think it was an accident either.
Okay, cool. Now we're on the same page. I'll give you this Tales from the Kitchen. So this goes back to my OCD. Don't touch nothing on my station. We had this one kid. Now, granted, I understood he was eager to learn, and whenever I had the moment to teach him something, I would.
Right.
But he always had a habit of taking it upon himself to teach himself.
Okay.
So one day we on a line, fire table 17. You hear everybody go, her fire 17. Yo, chef, fire 17. What 17? I don't got to check for 17. I got 44. I got 36. I got 19. I don't got a 17. Fire 35. Yo, I don't got a 35. What the fuck? He was a dish. Comes over. My bad, chef. I put him up here on top of the window. So I go, yo, we're gonna talk about this later. Stay the fuck off my station, because now I'm behind, and now everybody's behind, and now everybody's pissed. It's a domino effect. So now you're gonna stay late because the table's getting their food late, and so on and so forth. But we'll talk about it later. So the next day, we get everything situated. Right. It's fine. I can speed the shit out.
Right.
The next day, I take a saute pan and I put it in the broiler. I leave it there for so long that I forget about it. White. That's Damn. How hot that shit was. White.
Damn.
I take the joint. I have it in my hand. So it's been in there for at least 20 minutes. Broilers get to like 1500 degrees.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's like skin graft burn.
So listen, I'm aware, and I'm also aware of what I'm doing with it. So I have the shit like just out, and I say hot pan. So now walk over to the dish pit. So I hold it. Now it's not touching anybody, but the sheer heat coming off of it could start a fire.
Right.
Yo, what's going on? Nah, man, I'm sorry about yesterday. I'm like, no, it's cool. We just talking. He like, what the, y'all, you burned it? You got something, brother? No. You good? You sure you good? He was like, yeah. He goes, something cooking? And he looks down and not touching him, just the sheer heat coming off the pan, his apron starts smoking. Start melting away. So he takes it off. He's like, yo, you fucking crazy? Yes. Now stay the fuck off my station. Like, that's it. And it was nothing, no malice. I knew I needed to prove a point. Right. This is how serious this shit is. So when he kept fucking with Shorty, and Shorty, while she had the knife in her hand, accident or not, even though we both agree she did that shit on purpose,
yeah,
leave people to their devices. Leave them alone.
Right. And he was a poke the bear guy. he was I'm gonna keep fucking with you,
no pun intended,
until you right, but the
funny part about it is Carmi and Richie was the same person. They were poking everybody. Richie did it completely different than Carmi did it.
Yeah, Carmi did it in a professional dickhead way, and Richie was just a dickhead.
I hated Richie until the last episodes.
Yeah, he was a piece of work. But how about the motherfucking how about the Adderall and the Ecto Cooler?
Fam, it was so much shit going on in that show. Like,
all them kids was knocked the fuck out.
Listen,
and then the old head boy that they owed the money to was like, I'm cool with it.
Listen, it was so much shit where I knew they had to sprinkle like TV situations just to make it, I guess accessible to everybody.
Right.
But you really just need to have a show about like cooking with real chef stories and real cook stories, and don't mince any words, and just tell the truth, and it'd be the most honest and compelling shit ever. I think I sent you the video where the dude on his last day filled both the fryer baskets with ice.
No, you didn't send me that story.
I didn't,
but I know because I've seen it happen personally.
Wait, you saw? Wait, time out. You saw somebody put ice in a fryer?
Yes and no. Well, yes, but they didn't do it maliciously. It was an accident, but it still happened, and it still almost burnt the kitchen down.
Okay.
So this is at the hotel. I guess this is my tales from the kitchen.
Uh huh.
I'm at the hotel, and we were spoiled because literally all we had to do was come in and cook, clean our station, break it down, and that was it. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't have to clean no grills, no flat tops. We ain't have to do none of that shit. All the stewards, they did all that shit. So
Damn.
one of one of the stewards, he was very eager to start cleaning as soon as we were done. He would come up with the grill cleaner. He would come up with his Banbury full of ice, the whole 9 yards. He sat the Banbury with the ice on the countertop right where the fryer was. The Banbury fell on the fryer. All the ice, like somebody knocked it over. The Banbury spilled into the fryer. All the ice went into the fryer. The shit steamed and bubbled up. There's oil all over the place.
Oh my god.
Now, we had two fryers. They were side by side. For whatever reason, we never used both fryers at the same time. It was one or the other.
Yeah, you gotta always keep one clean and one dirty.
If the other fryer was on, we would have had a grease fryer. We would have had a grease fire. Like, it would have been ugly.
Oh my god.
Because the way our line was set up, it was it was a four top oven,
Mm-hmm.
4 burners, a 4 burner oven, our flat top fryer, grill next to the fryer, and then it was another 4 burner oven on the other end.
Right. Damn, that's a long ass line.
Yeah, that was the hot side. That was hot and saute all in one line. And then
That's still a long ass line.
and then right next to it was the cold side. So it was like a big letter L.
Yeah.
And if both fryers was on, that fucking grill would have caught, and I would have walked off. I'm telling you, I would have.
I know. Listen, I know.
I would have bounced.
I know.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have tried to be no hero. I'm not trying to put no grease fire out. It's the end of my shift anyway. I'm walking off.
Please remind me next week that that'll be my tales of something very similar.
All right, yeah, I would have bounced.
And somebody try to be the hero.
Oh yeah, no hero shit for me.
Listen,
I'm not getting paid to be the hero. This place got insurance. I don't.
that's a fact. And then the one chef that really believed in me, he told me, your job is to gross revenue and protect the assets of the company. And he said, but never forget, they got more. Don't ever Superman yourself to death.
Nope, wasn't doing it.
Bro, listen. And he told me that shit. I was like, yeah, but what I'm doing is not really Superman shit. He was like, no. Yes it is. Yes it is. If you could if it's a chance that you could really hurt yourself, you shouldn't even do it.
No, that's true.
So I was like, damn, you know.
He wasn't lying.
He wasn't lying.
No, absolutely not. He was not lying.
Rest in peace, Chef Don, man. Listen, he was like my favorite chef because he was from the backwoods of like Pennsylvania, like close to West Virginia.
Okay.
Talk like this, like really country.
Okay.
But like he didn't give a fuck. Can you cook or no? So and that was his only thing. And then one time he got into it with my food and beverage director, and he said, "Pussy, I'll throw you through that fucking wall."
Damn.
all by defending me. He said the shit.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's love.
Yeah, for sure. But he always dropped a gem like this. I'll say I'll give you another one. He said, "Yo, the reason why he wake up upset every day is because look what his wife look like."
Wow.
He said, "I come in here and you relate to this." He said, "I come in here happy every day. You know who I get to wake up next to?" And I was like, "All right, yeah, it makes sense."
Yeah.
But no, man, the Bear is an amazing show, bro.
No, it is. So before we get out of here,
For sure.
what's the last thing about the show that the
Yeah.
last thing we're going to talk about? What's the one thing about that show that you appreciate the most?
How real it was.
Okay.
It was touching because that story doesn't get told. The real story. Like what it takes to get average, what it takes to get good, what it takes to get great, and no matter how great you are, Richie was still telling him he wasn't shit. Fuck your fancy ass school.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, what? You can't do what I was just doing. Like, and then that's the thing. This is the best way I could put it. What to me, Usain Bolt is the greatest athlete ever. Let me tell you why. He has mastered the one thing that everybody on God's green has done. He ran. Everybody has ran. Usain is just better than everybody at it.
All right. I see where you're going.
The thing with cooking is everybody has to eat and everybody has to cook. Who's great and who's not is so subjective. So subjective.
I see what you're putting down. I see what you mean.
Carmi was, from me visually seeing it, even though I know it's TV, Carmi was nice. But everybody who cooked was like, I'm better than you. And it's like, what? No way.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what I was saying. Go back to when I was saying, yo, you could buy a chef jacket on Amazon. Like,
You can buy a chef jacket at Restaurant Depot.
you buy it. And it's not hard to get.
Yeah, no, you can go to fucking Sam's Club or BJ's and get one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. So for me,
What you take from it?
the best part of the show for me was the dynamic between Carmi and his dead brother and how they fell out and they didn't talk. And Carmi went away and he went away to show his brother that he was just as good, if not better than him, and how he was going to make it with or without him. But then, as estranged as they were because they did not have a relationship, after his brother died, his brother still loved him enough to leave the restaurant to him. And was like, listen, like, we ain't talk, but you're an extension of me. And I'm an extension of you. So mine's is yours. And this, I'm leaving it to you. And that couldn't have been any doper than it was. And it's one of those situations where if you don't really take it for what it's worth and you don't look at it the way it needs to be viewed, that whole dynamic is going to go right over your head.
Bro. I definitely missed it.
Right over your head.
I missed it.
Because remember, Carmi said if y'all were so close, why didn't he leave the restaurant to you?
I missed that whole thing. Respect, I missed that whole thing. Until the end, which we're not going to spoil that.
Right.
But the end, I was like, what the fuck was the... And then I went back, I was like, oh, shit.
Because I remember I said the same thing. I said the same thing to you. Like, yo, what the fuck was the point of blah, 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 blah? And you was like, no, look at it. And I was like, oh, holy shit. Because I missed it too.
Yeah. Nas, this is like probably like God tier rap song titles. Second Childhood. Your chance to redo it through somebody else.
Right.
That was Carmi's Carmi is his brother's Second Childhood. You get to redo it and do it right this time.
Yeah. And then when all of you at home watch it, if you haven't seen it yet, you will know what we're talking about when the series ends. Because technically, if you really think about it, season 1 is the prequel. Season 2 this is when they really get started.
Eesh.
So it ends on a crazy cliffhanger,
Yeah.
and it's like, holy shit! Like, okay, now it's about to begin
Now it starts. Yeah.
because now everybody's on the same page,
And now there's an expectation.
and now it's truly family.
Yeah. That
I like how they called their team meals family.
that's what I miss. Remember you asked me like what I really miss about restaurants? And I said the camaraderie.
Yeah,
That I miss.
yeah,
That part where I would be like, people would try, like, some people in the kitchen would be like, man, I got work to catch up on. I'll help you finish it. Take your ass out there and go eat with everybody.
right,
We don't get these moments, so we might as well get them here while we can.
right.
We so used to hunched over eating real quick. Like, we don't even get to really experience like dinner with our families a lot of the time. So this right here with the people I fight with the most, like, we gotta have fun with that. Perfect example. Went out to eat a couple weeks ago. I run into old server of mine.
Okay.
Dap up. I tell him, bro, I want to thank you. He's like, for what? I was like, yo, you have no idea. Like, you made me a better chef being an asshole. And he was like, you gotta understand, people are paying a lot of money to experience. And because you being bullshitting or fucking up and being lazy, you fuck it up for me.
Right, right.
So we are family. Like, so we gotta figure this out. We could either be the cousins that don't get along, but if somebody hits you, I'm hitting them. Or we could be the cousins that get along and we just work together and make it a thing. So like that final shot of family dinner, like, heartwarming.
And they had spaghetti. The one thing that Carm wanted to fucking get rid of.
I'll feel them. I'll feel it. Spaghetti's overrated, but
It can be, but like that was like one of their claims to fame.
yeah.
So it's like, if this is what we're known for, why the fuck are you trying to get rid of it? And they didn't understand. I'm not trying to get rid of shit that y'all love. I just want to elevate this place and take it to another level so we can get rid of something so mundane as spaghetti and put some thorough shit on. Change the narrative a little bit, but it's like the narrative doesn't need to be changed. Like, you ain't, like, you don't even be here. We're here. We know. But it's like, all right, yeah, I hear y'all, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Listen, they didn't even start understanding it until they started cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
You know when I knew shit in that kitchen was changing for the better?
Tina.
When her attitude changed?
Mm-hmm.
When she had that conversation with Richie in the alley and she was like, no, like, things are good. I'm good. I'm learning. Yada, yada, yada. Because she was the only one that was like, nah, fuck this. I don't know what y'all on. I ain't on that shit y'all on.
System bucker.
Oh, my God, for sure.
Until, if I'm not mistaken, her son was like, yo, something different about you.
It was that, but it was also two things. One, she just assumed that Sydney was going to tell her mashed potatoes was shit. And she was like, go ahead, get it over with. Tell me they shitty. And she was like, nah, they're good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, come on, let's go. And she looked at her like, what? She wasn't expecting it. Then the other time when I think she had milk on in the pot and she burnt it and she was pissed and she went to go throw it out. And when she came back, Sydney had put a fresh pot on with the rosemary in it to flavor it up. And she was like, why'd you do this? And she was like, because we don't have time to fucking fall behind. We got shit to do. You're welcome. And she was like, damn, this little bitch, she ain't too bad.
Yeah. It ain't about your personal ego. It's about the people that's paying, like, that pays our bills.
Right.
Like, even real quick, we should have touched on this, but women in the kitchen. We could end on this one.
All right.
As much pressure as we have as just being black chefs, that woman in the kitchen shit, dealing with just men especially men who can't even control themselves,
Right.
is a different thing. Like Carmi, I fucks with Carmi. Carmi understood like that's not man. That's a chef. Period. So I treat her with a certain level of respect.
I like the way he called everybody chef.
I
Cause
like it in that
I
instance.
I like it because it was just his way of saying I respect you,
Yep.
and I'm not more important than you, and you're not more important than me because we need each other to make this work.
Right. Like it was that, and I think not even I think like women in this industry, especially because she was like black, they don't get a fair shake, even worse than us.
No, yeah,
And
you're
I
right.
think that's what made her so determined. Like
Who, Tina or Sydney?
Sydney, Tina was a different thing.
Sydney's bedroom looked like she was a 12-year-old girl.
Don't you think you should have like a childlike innocence when you do this? You still gotta maintain an imagination.
I mean, I guess she was just like sleeping in a fucking twin size bed. She was a grown ass woman.
Let's be realistic. There's not a lot of money in this industry.
No, unless you on top, no, it isn't.
It's
It's enough for you to fucking get by.
if that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And then just to piggyback on women real quick, and then we'll get out y'all hair. When I got let go from Little Terrace,
Beep beep.
oh shit,
Beep.
I'm sorry,
Engineer,
y'all.
delete that.
I'm sorry. When I got let go from the nursing home, the babe found this culinary program for me to get into, and
Oh, I see.
no.
Okay.
I forget, but it was in I guess what's that? Where U Penn is? What part of the city is that? That's West Philly, right?
Yeah.
It was in West Philly. So anyway, one of the instructors was this lady named Chef Siobhan, and she would tell us stories about her back in the day before she was an instructor, when she was still a chef in a kitchen. And I forget where she worked, but she said she was the only woman chef in this entire kitchen. And the men chef treated her so bad, like she would go in the walk-in and cry, and then like get herself together, come back out and do her job until she stopped letting them get to her and said, "Fuck y'all, I'm gonna show y'all better than I can tell y'all." And then she became like the second in command in the kitchen, and all them niggas that used to clown her was all underneath her.
Yes, chef.
Yeah.
Yes, chef.
Yeah. And that was just her way of letting the students know it don't matter who you are, where you came from, where you are, if you're determined enough, male or female, but especially to the females, because there was a lot of females in this program I was in, y'all can really be the shit and do whatever y'all want. I'm talking about she was like she gave life to a lot of them, like, and they had like James Beard award winning aspirations. So
Listen,
big up Chef Siobhan.
For sure. And I think being realistic, the stigma of chefs is they rock star assholes.
That was an excellent way to put it. That's the first time I heard that.
Rock star assholes. I've gotten in more trouble in restaurants because I am the complete opposite. Because they only understand one way of managing. Me saying, get the fuck out of my kitchen, it's like, all right. But when I say, I could do your job too, you don't gotta be here, shit reads different. And like, especially in this day and age where they not letting that shit fly.
Yeah.
First off, you're not gonna talk to me a certain way.
But you know what? The second part hurts more than the first part. Like you say, get the fuck out of my kitchen. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I'll go work in another kitchen.
But when you tell them, when you remind them how insignificant they can be at times, and it's like, bro, I'm doing you a favor, or sis, I'm doing you a favor
Mm-hmm.
by allowing you to work in this kitchen. But don't think for a second I need you,
Right.
because I don't. You're making my job easier.
And I think with that, when I say the rock star asshole shit, it's the arrogance. And then what I've seen it a handful of times, but I can only imagine how women feel after that. Like Shorty on the show, what's it?
Sydney.
Sydney was so amazing, like, because she was talented, she could hang, she wasn't taking a shit. She just needed a mentor to kind of like
Molder.
mold her and like polish the rough ends.
Yeah. Because you peep, after that catering thing fell apart that she was a part of, when she started the catering, she kind of lost, her light dimmed a little bit.
It's demoralizing because you
Yeah.
put so much effort into something that fall apart.
Her light dimmed, and she needed somebody to remind her, no, you the shit. Like, you can do this. But it's all within reason, and it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
You want this shit overnight. It's not going to happen that way. Especially seeing as how you're second in command, you're not even in charge. So let me mold you. But she didn't want to be molded because she thought she was already put together.
Right. And that's like a certain level of arrogance. Like we all have, like all chefs got a certain level of arrogance. Like, but you know, we gotta get a woman chef on here so we can really deep dive in this. But I can honestly say my experience in the kitchen has only been like with women. It's only been black women. And
Really?
yeah. Shout out, and I'll tell you, like,
Really?
yeah.
In your professional career?
It's been women of color.
Okay.
But even the it's majority black women.
The sous chef at the hotel was a woman, white woman, super cool, super cool. Like what? Like she was it.
For sure.
Super dope. Matter of fact, I got to reach out to her. I ain't talked to her in a long time. I got to reach out to her, make sure everything's cool. She's actually the executive chef of the kitchen at that hotel now.
You gotta get her on.
She's not coming on. I can tell you right now. She's not.
All right, say less.
Yeah, no, she ain't coming on.
Listen,
But
like
this isn't even her wheelhouse. Like this right here.
okay,
But knowledge, all that. She was kind of like Floss. She's not stingy with the information. She put you on. But she burns out on people fast. Like if she knows you're a douche or you really ain't about shit, and she picks up on it, all right, whatever.
that's the sign of a real chef, though.
Yeah, like I tried. You don't want to learn. Whatever, you want your own.
Lost cause. Yeah, that's the real sign of, because we don't be having time.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Last thing, and then we'll let y'all go. We'll get out of here. It was about the Bears, about the show.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back up to you later. I'm having a brain fart right now. I can't even think of it.
No, it's cool, man.
It's eluding me, and I'm pissed because as soon as we done,
you gonna remember?
I'm going to remember.
Don't worry about it, man. Write it down. Save it for the next one.
Yeah. But no, look, The Bear, great show, y'all.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Have to watch it if you haven't. If you haven't and you're going to watch it now, we apologize for the spoilers. But it's only going to make your viewing pleasure better because now you're going to be looking for it.
And you're going to be understanding, like for the most part, without spoiling it, we explain some of the things that you're going to be seeing when you're watching it. Like,
no, yeah.
Why the fuck is he yelling like that? Like, you can't talk to people like that. It's like, no. One band, one sound.
Oh, I remember now.
See, I got you, see?
Before we go, what do you, and to the viewers, if you're in the industry or you know what we're talking about, this question is for you guys as well. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the brigade style in the kitchen, or do you prefer the laid back, just, whatever type of style in the kitchen?
I need both.
You need both.
I need both.
Okay.
Because up until showtime, like perfect example. Remember I said like if you it was a privilege to work Fridays and Saturday nights.
Right.
So Saturdays I would come in, I would open, but we know we're only open for dinner service. Up until 4 o'clock,
It's casual.
casual music blasting, getting family dinner ready. Like my thing, I used to need to hear like Mexican opera music.
Really?
It gets me in the mood.
Mexican opera music.
Yeah,
Well, that's because you're bilingual.
but not only that, it's somber.
I do listen to some opera.
It's a mood it sets.
Okay, I got you.
When showtime starts, one band, one sound. Yo, need this, and this. Make sure you got this. Why the fuck that plate look like that? Like it, and then you can go back to being casual.
Got you.
But it's a certain mind that can handle that. Cause there's some people that's super casual that can't turn it off and get confused when everybody hit the switch but them.
Yeah. Certain people come to mind when you say that for me. Yeah.
Then
I was one of them in the very beginning. I was one of them. I was the buck the system guy. Like I didn't because I never had formal training.
there's nothing wrong with bucking the system.
I didn't understand.
Oh.
Heard and yes chef and no chef. I didn't understand that because every place I've been, that wasn't instituted. So I was never around it. So when I was around it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like I'm not saying heard to everything, and I purposely would go out of my way. Like when people like heard, I'd be like, yeah, I got you. And chef would be so mad, like,
Yo, you did.
Like, what you mean?
Listen,
But then I had to explain to him.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Like I've never been around this.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of uncomfortable. And it was like, no. So then when he explained to me the logic and the meaning behind it and where it came from and all of that and the respect behind it,
it's a different thing.
I said, you know what? I understand. You still not getting it from me though, but I understand. I was fucking with him though.
I know.
He was my old head. Like he was cool as shit. I just needed the clarification because I'm not just going to start doing some shit that I don't understand because everybody else is doing it.
I give you per example. So where I'm at now, right? I always make the joke. I'd be like, damn, yo. They was like, say, yo, and say my name. And like the people who know, I'd be like, you know I used to be a chef, right? And they'll all laugh and they'd be like, heard.
Okay.
And I'd be like, but it's a joke amongst the people that know.
Right.
And then it would be like, yo, this is what we doing. Heard. But why we doing? Clock out, see you later. I didn't even do. Clock out, see you later. But like, well, how you gonna finish tonight? Clock out, see you later. The people that said heard understood what the assignment is. Like that's it. We all on this page except for the people who don't understand.
You really made him clock out and go home?
Bye.
Oh shit.
But it's like it's a respect thing and the fact that you understand. I'm not here to coddle you and I'm not here to give you attention. You're here to do a job and that's it, just like me. So like it's like, and it's not even so much I hated being called chef until I understood the weight and levity it has.
Got you.
Especially when it comes into how much work and effort you put in.
Right.
Oh, I earned that.
I got you. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up here.
Good show,
man. It
man.
seems like we can keep going, and we don't want to give y'all too much because we don't want to lose anybody's attention.
Yeah, next week we getting right back to it.
Yeah, right back to our regular scheduled program next week. This was a special episode because we really wanted to touch bases on the show and just bring light to how good of a show it was and is. Mm-hmm. We're amped for season 2.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
But you know what I can't wait for?
What's up?
For these questions in the DMs and these emails about the show, because you guys,
yes,
we really want y'all to understand that we appreciate and need the feedback.
No, you guys are a part of the show. It don't work without y'all.
No, it does not.
So email us at thefoodjohnpodcast@gmail.com, TheFood JAWNPODCAST at gmail.com, or hit us on Instagram at the Food John Podcast. Period. Hit us up, man.
Yeah, we're very, very interested to see and hear how you guys feel. And for the people that already reached out to us, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. Reach out to us again. There's no limit on how many questions you can ask, how many times you can comment. We might not get to all of them, but we see them and we appreciate them.
Special shout out, by the way. Iris, Jazz, Brock, Nika. These are the people that were reposting it on their Instagram, sending the word.
Okay.
So shout out to them. Salute. Thank you. So if you want an official shout out, come on, man, just repost it. We got you.
Now, nobody on my end reposted, but plenty of people reached out to me via call,
give them a shout out,
text message. You want shout out Brandon, shout out Camilla.
What up?
Shout out to oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry. Shout out to.
Been working too hard, man.
I have been. Well, if I missed you, I apologize. Y'all know who y'all are. But to Camilla and Peak, I cannot forget because we talk about this on a daily basis. So I appreciate it. You have no idea how much we appreciate it. But until next week, y'all be good. We're going to do the same. And then we'll see y'all then.
Yes, sir. Love, peace, and chicken grease.